Hi, so hello everyone. Today recording is about international leadership, which we're going to focus on OpenAI. The group members contain Andryan Herjanto, Alayna Anindhita, Bhumikkumar Patel, and Munzil Irvandi. Well, the roles already been placed on the table. The content of this presentation will include company background of OpenAI, the leadership theory of the OpenAI CEO, the ethical issues the company facing, the leader reaction, recommendation, conclusion, and reference. And the next slide will be described by my friend.
Okay, I'm going to explain the company background of OpenAI. OpenAI is an AI research and deployment startup that was founded in 2015 and is still active today. The objective of OpenAI is to ensure that all of humanity benefits from artificial general intelligence. OpenAI is now being led by Sam Altman, as he is the CEO, and he has 500 employees, so we can see that OpenAI is a big company. OpenAI has 3 products. It's ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Whisper. ChatGPT, with its vast knowledge and domain expertise, ChatGPT can accurately follow complicated natural language instructions and handle task problems. And there are 2 versions of ChatGPT, which is GPT 3.5 and GPT 4.0. The difference between these 2 versions is the advancement of the technology, and in GPT 4.0, they give more knowledge than the 3.5 version. DALL-E is an AI system that can generate realistic visuals and art from a natural language description. And Whisper is a multilingual speech recognition model that can transcribe, identify, and translate in a variety of languages. We can see on the right side, it is the graph of users worldwide of ChatGPT 2023. The most frequent age is 25 until 34 years old, and the most frequent gender using ChatGPT is male. Next.
So the current CEO of the OpenAI is called is Sam Altman. He's the current CEO of the OpenAI, who have ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Whisper. And to talk about leadership, we're going to talk about 3 varieties of leadership: leadership trait, skills, and style. The first one, we're going to talk about the leadership trait. Leadership trait is the process on how to influence others to understand and agree what needs to be done to reach the goal. And what makes leadership trait special is the leadership trait are a trait that you can only achieve from when you're born, which can be considered not possible to learn. And from the leadership trait that related to Sam Altman, there is the communication skills is to have a good sales. Intimate communication is important and always attend in person, according to Sam Altman's statement. And the second trait is self-awareness, is to have a self-aware what will prevent from being out of touch and being entitled. It means like if you know that you have some issues regarding your product, or you don't know about something, you need to know so you can fix it to prevent any issues in the future. The second trait is gratitude. It meaning to be grateful can build network easier and faster, which according to Sam Altman, if you're always grateful to someone, it create a established network between people easier because people will like you more. And the second trait is courage. It is important to try many things, right or wrong method to adapt quickly compared to not try at all. The other trait is focus. Is according to Altman, while doing a work or assessment, is to finish one work at a time instead of doing multiple, which can make you which can make your direction become not straight in line. And the last trait is influence. In open air workplace, culture requires employees to be bold to speak their ideas, giving and receiving feedbacks. So people know if you have any problem regarding your product or your ideas. So the second leadership factor is leadership skill. Leadership skill is an ability to show based on the role in the group, which I'm going to use cut skill model leadership, who put different role based on the technical, human, and conceptual skill. Technical skill is a knowledge and proficiency in specific work or activity based on the group. A human is knowledge and ability to work with people, such as interaction and communication. And lastly, conceptual is knowledge and ability to work with the idea of the group, which is to know the vision and mission of the group have. And according to the table, you can see for the top management. Top management doesn't need huge technical skills, but top management need to focus on human and conceptual. For example, the CEO is the one who need to know their people from human and the company vision and mission. So the CEO know where the company is going in the future. The second one is the middle management, who need to know everything technical to understand how the group operate, human to understand the employee below him, and conceptual to know what to do, to know the vision and mission, because middle management are the one who implement the vision and mission to the people, to the employees. And lastly, it's the supervisory management. Is the bottom one, which they only need to focus on technical to know what to do, and the human skills, which is to interact between the teams. Well, they doesn't need to know about conceptual skills. And for Sam Altman considered himself a CEO. Even though Sam Altman is a CEO, he considered himself a CEO need to understand the technical skills to operate OpenAI, which it can be stated from his statement and cut skill. Even though he considered himself a CEO, his current operational is mostly middle management, where he needs to know technical, human, and also he know the vision and mission, because he's the one who create OpenAI. And one of the anonymous employees said Sam Altman is different to other leaders due to his direct approach working in OpenAI. Also helped state that Sam Altman current operational is a middle management according to that skill model, while he considers himself at top management. And the last one is the leadership style. Leadership style is a leadership method to provide direction, plan, and motivating its people to fulfill the leader's goal. In leadership style, there are three types of leadership style that I'm going to state based on Farnsworth, which is transformational, laissez-faire, and transactional. Transformational is leadership style that focus on people 100%, which you can see from the table created by Svanto. The transformational purpose is to giving motivation to the employee 100%, checking what's employee doing. It's mostly like a coach and mentor relationship. Laissez-faire is leadership style that giving the leader 100% trust to the employee. It means the leader doesn't have any relation to the employee because he trusts the employee skill 100%, and doesn't demand the task to the employee because the leader trusts the employee know what to do in the group. And the last leadership style is the transactional leadership. Transactional leadership is a reward-based leadership that work by if a group doing well, the leader will give a huge reward to employee, which can motivate employee to finish the task really well and to achieve the reward. For the factor for each style, we're going to focus on informational because according to Graham, Sam Altman stated that remote working prevents direct interaction to motivate employees that are different compared to direct interaction. And this shows that Sam Altman leadership style is transformational from the way he disagreed by distance remote working, because he preferred to interact with the employee directly, which is really people It's really people-related leadership style. And for the transformational leadership factor, there are four different factors for the transformational leadership. The first one is charisma. It's being a role model to the follower, motivational, having high expectation to the follower, stimulation is to challenge follower thought and belief, and lastly, consideration is the role as a coach and an advisor to the follower. And lastly, according to Ahmad, there are some leaders who combine two various leadership style. If the group if the employee if the leadership doesn't operate, such as you can see from the table, some company combining transactional leadership, which is a reward based with a transformational leadership. So this work by the leader promoting a reward while also helping the employees. This can create a performance expectation with the cost of time, with the great cost of time of the leadership.
There are mainly three ethical issues of the open AI. The first one is the AI replace the human jobs. Like many right now, many trendings about that human jobs replaced by the AI, because the day by day, and most of the people and organizations collaborate with the AI and using of the AI for the industrial revolution 4.0. The first one is the like, for example, in finance. We can using the chat GPT for the explanation of the data and analyze of the data. Is the in the another jobs is the software engineering, like chat GPT make for the programming for the programmers, and also they like create a content or programs for the website making. Next one is the graphic design. Using of DALL-E is the one of the software. You use just the combination of the different image, or you just type in the text for the creating the design, using rather than using different tools like Photoshop and creating another tools. Another ethical issue is the authenticity and plagiarism in art and educations. There are most of the trending for the student in the university. They are using of the assessment works and work from home. There are like for from the newspaper we identified 48% of the student admitted to using ChatGPT for at home for the test or quiz, and 52% has written an essay, and 22% had it written on outline for a paper. Also, university students make their journal or make it research paper for using of ChatGPT. Another one of the biggest like news is the German artist Boris Alderson won the Sony World Photography Awards using by the AI generators image, but he is not accept the image, and he's just testing about is the difference between the real image or AI generated image. And university students uses ChatGPT for the assessment. There are in the UK there are multiple universities banned ChatGPT for the campus user interface. The third one is the privacy data breach. Is the Samsung has reportedly banned its employee from using generative AI tools such as ChatGPT because of the threat about that some of the legal information leak on the website or in the using the another users, because of the ChatGPT is a machine learning platforms. Another is the Italian Data Protection Authority also banned the ChatGPT due to the over data breach concern. There are, right now is the Apple also being the banned for the ChatGPT using the they are concerned about the accidentally expose the confidential information about that. So is the next one for the explanation, my colleague.
Okay, so based on my colleague explanation, there's several ethical issues addressing the ChatGPT or OpenAI especially. And as a leader, Sam Altman should have make a statement in the name of their company on how they react to the ethical issue. The first ethical issue addressing OpenAI is about unemployment and socioeconomic inequality. There's a possibility that AI could replace the human job. And same AI make a statement about this ethical issue, which is he fears that if this tech could go wrong and eliminate some jobs in the future. And based on his statement, we can conclude that his reaction is he also afraid, but also optimist that human will find other abilities or skills, so they will not be replaced by the AI. Based on his reaction, we can conclude that one of his traits is open communication and honest. And his leadership style is transformational leadership, which is the intellectual stimulation. That he challenged the people belief about how AI could replace the human job and encourage the other people that human will learn a new skills and combine it with AI. Next. And the second ethical issue addressing the OpenAI is authenticity and plagiarism in art and education. As we all know that there's a possibility that student might use it to create an assignment and artists for their artwork without acknowledging it. And Sam Altman also have made a statement about this one, and he give an example that when the calculator invented long time ago, students will not use their brain, but in actual, it makes student able to do math faster and able to learn more in a short time of period. Based on his statement, we can conclude that his reaction is encourage others to look at the positive side first rather than in the negative side. Based on this reaction, we could know that one of other trait that he has is encouraging others. And the transformational leadership he tried to say in here is an intellectual simulation, which is he encourage and challenge other people belief about how AI, how open AI and how ChatGPT could affect on student and artists. So based on two reactions that Sam Altman gave on this ethical issue, we can conclude that his leadership style is intellectual simulation, but he's still not sure about the solution on how to resolve it, that technical issue for now, or that ethical issue for now. Next.
Okay, so our recommendation based on our research that it would be better if Sam Altman positioned himself as a top managerial level, according to Cat's leadership skills, to consider the conceptual and human. The first thing a leader can do is recognize that most people are uncomfortable in situations of uncertainty, based on Pareto 2023. So Sam Altman should acknowledge not only the positive sides of OpenAI, but also the negative sides of it. Next.
Based on the analysis and information, we can conclude there are the few topics. First one is the OpenAI. There are multiple three main products. First one is ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Whisper. Another conclusion is the several ethical issue like in OpenAI, such as the AI replacing the jobs in futures, privacy data breach, and authenticity and plagiarism in art and education. Third conclusion is the Sam Altman is the main traits are self-awareness and encouraging the people and open communication and honesty with them. Fourth is his leadership skill from case table is the belong in the middle management who needs to understand the technical, human, and conceptual factor of the company, and his style is intellectual simulation. So, last one is as a leader of big company, he should focus on being a top management level and embrace the negative side of ChatGPT. Next.
These are the references for this presentation. And that's all for the presentation, and thank you for listening.